for Greek family. Let's get started. First, the past tense. 5 years ago, I was walking down the street when a guy came to me and said, "Hi, can I chat with you for a moment?" He looked clean and very neat. I was quite naive, so I thought he was just being friendly. I said, "Okay." The man asked me, "How far would you go to save yourself?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm talking about the Christian faith. I want you to convert to Christianity." "Actually, I'm a Buddhist," I said. "What about your relatives? Are they Buddhists too?" he asked. I told him no, just me. He then told me that I would go to hell if I didn't convert. He said I was a bad person. He told me all Buddhists would go to hell. Finally, he said that the Buddha and all Buddhists served the devil. That was the last straw. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. I yelled at him, "Go away! I refuse to listen to you anymore." All right, our second version. I'm going to change this a little bit so you get a little more practice. Just change the order of the story. Since I was a child, I have been very naive. I have always thought that people are very friendly, even if they're not. I have always accepted people and not worried about them or been suspicious, right? I've always been quite naive since I was a child. Well, one day, I was walking down the street when a guy came up to me and said, "Hi, can I chat with you for a moment?" He looked clean and very neat. Since I was quite naive and have always been naive, I thought he was just being friendly, so I said, "Okay." The man asked me, "How far would you go to save yourself?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I'm talking about the Christian faith. I want you to convert to Christianity." "Actually, I'm a Buddhist," I said. "What about your relatives? Are they Buddhists too?" he asked. I told him, no, just me. He then told me that I would go to hell if I didn't convert. He said I was a bad person. He told me all Buddhists would go to hell. Finally, he said that the Buddha and all Buddhists serve the devil. That was the last straw. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I yelled at him, "Go away! I refuse to listen to you anymore." So you can notice I use the present perfect have been for something that started long ago when I was a child and continued up to the time this story happened. Then I changed to the simple past because we're talking about one specific event and that it's already happened, it's done. Okay, let's go to the future. Back to the future. Here we go. In 10 years from now. I'm imagining this. Maybe I dreamed this, okay? This is a dream. I have a dream. In 10 years, I will be walking down the street when a guy will come up to me and he'll say, "Hi, can I chat with you for a moment?" He'll look clean and very neat. I'll be quite naive, so I'll think he's just being friendly. I'll say, "Okay." The man's going to ask me, "How far would you go to save yourself?" And I'll say, "What do you mean?" He'll say, "I'm talking about the Christian faith. I want you to convert to Christianity." "Actually, I'm a Buddhist," I'll say. "What about your relatives? Are they Buddhists too?" he'll ask. I'm going to tell him, no, just me. He'll then tell me that I will go to hell if I don't convert. He'll say I'm a bad person. He'll tell me all Buddhists will go to hell. Finally, he'll say that the Buddha and all Buddhists serve the devil. That's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I'll yell at him, "Go away! I refuse to listen to you anymore." All right, go back. Listen to each version. After each version, pause and try to tell that version yourself out loud so you can hear it. So listen to the first version, the past, pause, and tell the whole story again using the past, 10 years ago. Second time, start the story with, since I was a child, and tell the story yourself out loud. And then, again, listen to the future version and pause and tell the future version yourself. If it's difficult, if you can't do it, no problem. Just relax. Go back. Listen very carefully. Again and again and again. And then try again. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello. Welcome to the vocabulary lesson for Greek family. Let's get started. Headline says, woman will never be Greek enough for husband's family. Greek, of course, describes someone from Greece, the country of Greece. And then she starts the letter, Dear Abby, I married a Greek man whose family never accepted me. She said she was young and naive. Naive means innocent. It means, but not like guilty and innocent. It means you don't have much experience in the world. You don't know much about the world. And it also has the idea that you trust people too much. Right? You're maybe too friendly, too open, too much trust. You're not careful enough with people. That's naive. So you don't have much experience in the world, and you don't know much about the world and life. Naive. So she said she was naive when she got married. And she said she tried to fit in with her husband's family, and she converted from Catholicism to the Greek Orthodox faith. To convert means to change, and it can have a religious meaning. In this case, of course, it does have a religious meaning. To convert, in this case, means to change religions. And we usually say convert to a new religion. So if you convert to Christianity, it means you used to be another religion, now you're a Christian. If you convert to Buddhism, you used to be something else, now you are a Buddhist. So that's to convert, to change from one religion to another. All right, and she uses the word faith here. She converted to the Greek Orthodox faith. Greek Orthodox is a kind of Christianity, but different than the Catholic Church. And in this case, faith means religion. Now, faith can mean like belief. It can mean belief in something. You have a deep belief, even though you're not sure. But this case, faith means religion, a religion. We sometimes use you have to use it with the name of the religion. So we might say the Hindu faith, the Christian faith, the Muslim faith. So that just means the Muslim religion, the Christian religion, the Buddhist religion, the Hindu religion, faith. So a little bit different meaning for faith than how we normally use it. In the second paragraph, we see the word relative. She said, my husband and I traveled to Crete, that's an island in Greece, with his family to visit his relatives there. Relatives means family members, but it usually means more distant family members. So your husband, your wife, your children, they are not relatives. We don't use the word relatives to describe your close family, like your husband or your children. Relatives usually means grandparents, cousins, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews. All of those people we describe as relatives. So they're in your family, but they're not living in your house. Well, they might be living in your house. Your grandmother could live in your house, but they're not so close, and it's not your immediate family. Relatives are a little farther away, like grandparents, cousins, etc. All right. And she said some extended family members refused to share the dinner table with her. Extended family has the same idea as relatives. Extended family means grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins. We usually say immediate family or nuclear family. That's your husband or wife and your children. Or if you're young, it means your father and your mother and your brothers and sisters. That's your immediate family. But then we have the extended family, and those are the relatives. Those are the people who are a little farther, like grandparents, cousins, etc. So extended family. And these family members refused to share the dinner table with her. To refuse means to say no. Means you say you will not do something. And refuse normally goes with an action, right? Somebody wants you to do something and you refuse. So refuse. You refuse to do something. You refuse to do an action, usually. So in this case, they refuse to share the dinner table. It means they refuse to eat with her. So you refuse an action. You say no to an action. All right, and then we go down to the next paragraph. And she says, our daughter Athena was born 4 years later. And she said, what broke the camel's back for me? To break the camel's back, this is a common phrase in English. It has a short version and a long version. This is the short version. If you say, what broke the camel's back? But we also sometimes say, the straw that broke the camel's back. The straw that broke the camel's back, or just broke the camel's back. Either one, it means it's the last thing. It's the action or the situation that finally makes you do something, that finally changes your mind. So you have to imagine that you have a camel, right? It's an animal, and you're putting stuff on top of the camel. So you put maybe straw's like grass, but you're putting some on the camel, and the camel's okay. You put more, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. You put more, and oh, now the camel's, his back is hurting. You more, and finally you put one more, and the camel's back breaks, right? So it's the final thing, it's the final bad experience that causes the camel to break or to die. This is where it comes from. And so it means like that you have some kind of bad situation, and it's been happening a long time. So let's say in this case, the family, they do something bad to her. Then they do another thing that's bad. Then they do another bad thing. Then another. Each time she's a little more upset, a little more angry. But more bad things, more bad things, more bad things. Finally, they did something to her daughter. They were rude to her daughter. That was the last straw. Right? That's what broke the camel's back. It was the last event. After this, she's so angry, she will not be nice to them anymore. It's the final action, and now she can't handle it anymore. All right, and so what happened is that the father-in-law was giving money to all the grandchildren who had Greek heritage, but didn't give one to their daughter. Heritage means when we talk about Greek heritage or German heritage or Japanese heritage, heritage means where your family comes from. Where your family comes from. And it was talking about your family in the past. So it doesn't mean right now. So we can have someone, this child was born in America. So the girl is American, but she's of Greek heritage because her father's Greek. Her grandparents are Greek, right? Half of her family is Greek. So she's not Greek. The girl is not Greek because she's American, born in America, lives in America. But she is of Greek heritage, right? Her family is Greek. So if an immigrant comes here, say from Mexico, they're Mexican. But their children, let's say they're born in America, they grow up in America, they always live in America. They're Americans, but they're of Mexican heritage. Their family, going back in history, was Mexican. All right. And then we keep going, and she says that her little daughter was really upset when she didn't get money from her father-in-law like everybody else. And then she said her husband just tries to stay neutral. Neutral means, in this case, neutral means you don't pick a side. So I mean, we have one side against another side, and you say, oh, I'm not fighting on either side. I'm in the middle. I will not support either side. I am neutral. So the husband won't support his wife and daughter, and the husband also won't support his Greek family. He just says, I'm neutral. He won't help either one. He won't choose either side. And then finally, in the last sentence, she says, Abby, how far should someone have to go, or how far should I have to go to fit in with my husband's family? Remember, to fit in means to have a good relationship with. To fit in with the family means have a good relationship with the family, to belong to the family, to be part of the family. That's to fit in. So she's saying, how far should I have to go to do this? That means how far do I need to go? How far should I have to go? That just means how much do I need to do? How much do I need to do? Or how much should I try? That's the meaning of that phrase. How far should I have to go to learn English? It means, what must I do? How much do I need to do to learn English? Or how much do I need to try to learn English? How far do I need to go? All right. So that's all. That's all the vocabulary in this little thing. Listen to this a few times. Make sure you know the vocabulary. This one's not too difficult, I hope. And then we'll move on to the mini story. See you next time. Bye.